No, it's gonna make space, but I think we're going back that way. All right, if everyone could please rise for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, all, and welcome to the Monday, September 27th, 2021 meeting of the Township. I'll wait for Michael to have a seat. Let us know that we are online and ready to go.
We are online and ready to go.
Sounds great. Thank you very much. First up on the agenda is chair comments. At this time, I will ask for a motion to add motion N to the agenda, a resolution accepting the 2022 minimum municipal obligation for the police pension. Is there a second?
A second.
The first and second, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Second chair's comment. I will ask for a motion to add motion O to the agenda, a resolution accepting the 2022 minimum municipal obligation for the non-union pension.
I'll make that motion.
We have a first. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you very much. Item number 4 on the agenda, or next on the agenda is the public hearing. We have none. Next on the agenda is public comment on any item. Is there any public comment this evening? Go ahead, sir. Can you please stand and give your name and address?
James Lynch, 154 Old Drive in Chalfont. I just want to put on record that I'm not a fan of the Board of Supervisors meeting, the way you switch to having Monday 9 a.m. Vast majority of us work, and it's difficult for us to be there and make any comments on any investment, if I can say, not pop off of interest to us. So I'm not a fan of it. I think it should go back to its regular stuff.
Thank you very much for coming. Is there any other public comment? Okay. Name and address, please, sir.
My name is Bill Muzica, 66 Ellerville Road. It's not on the agenda, but Michael did tell me to spoke about it in the planning session. I wanted to get an update on the culvert situations on Walters and Sellersville Road. I sent a list of questions. I can turn my phone back on and read them. But what's the status, when they're going to be back under construction, when they're going to be fixed, and why they washed out. This will be the third closure, and that severely impacts our business that we have.
Okay. I'll direct that to Matt, and I guess also Greg.
Thanks. So we're still currently waiting for FEMA county allocation for the money. Given the scale of the damage that has been in the area, it's been a little slow, and so we know what needs to be done. And thankfully, I believe, Greg, correct me if I'm wrong, the culvert is okay. It's just the surface area on the road that needs to be rebuilt. So we're currently exploring how we go about doing that to make sure that we can create a solution that can withstand more significant rainfall. Don't have an answer as to when it's going to be rebuilt yet. We're still waiting for the funding from the state.
Are we redesigning the culverts, the existing culverts? I know they were out for bid and they were constructed per the engineer's drawings. Apparently, or obviously, they're undersized for the amount of rainfall we're getting. And I know we had several anomaly storms, but I've never heard if they were 100-year flood impacts, if they were greater than that, if they were 500s. Have we looked at that? Because if this will be the third time in less than 2 years, and I understand that the culverts didn't move, the box culverts didn't move, the areas around them took the impact. And it's not that they weren't backfilled properly. They were undersized to take the water.
Yep. And so we actually discussed that in the meeting 2 weeks ago, and we had a pretty healthy discussion about that, how to engineer it and what that means, the reality of it. To which point, I'll turn it over to Craig to explain the engineering behind it to engineer it.
Actually, you asked good questions. The culvert's designed for like 2 to 5 year storm. So I think on Walters Road, actually have the number memorized, 200 CFS. That's why the culvert's okay, but
the road,
Yeah, go ahead.
the storms you saw, I don't know if Peter's or any other townships, but I'm getting 200-year storm, 500-year storm, I have some staff on the 1,000-year storm based on this small little area right here. Nothing designed, anything over 100 years. And
Right.
that's 25 years. So that's why we have issues very, really, well, they designed for 25, and I have development upstream and downstream for 100 years, but it doesn't matter if that's true. So it's the same concept. Once they touched that road, and I wasn't here for the original, my staff was, but I wasn't in the meetings. It was that staff level and board at that time, years ago, they could not afford to spend the money to elevate the road designed for a 100-year storm. So that road was always intended to over the top. The problem was, once they touched it, the road was compromised all back there. And you did have a hurricane, and we had almost close to 100-year storm in one area last year. Now you had it again, unfortunately. And once you touch something, it's not stabilized yet. Now, we'll have to spend more money to engineer it even further. But the culvert's fine. The direction we got from the township management board at that time was, we don't have the funds to elevate a road and try to design for 1,300 CFM and down. The other reason Walter Shore is having issues is the dam back there. The county dam really impacted where the water could go. That's all in the same range, it's over 600 acres. There's nothing we can do as a township, we don't have control over it all. We put that, most of that water. That's all Bill Township water, which is interesting because we have other people saying, hey, keep your water over here. Township side of the road, and I got bigger issues further down in the township. So, I think a little long-winded, but
No,
the culverts are designed the way they're supposed to. They work. It's just the water's always over top. To put in a box culvert to handle 100-year storm, you couldn't actually afford it. It was over $1 million less than we did years ago. And the township managed to take that to the board. We're not going to spend that money. So they said just replace the common. So we actually called it, I'm sure you're aware of this year construction. We did replace the common, increase the capacity just a little bit. But it's going to continue to happen. We need to know reinforce the road, build the road up again. We have to spend more money to try to do that.
Okay, yeah, I appreciate that. So that box is that, the current box on Walters was a 2 to 5 year design,
Yeah.
2 to 5 year impact, so that can happen a lot.
Oh,
And I realized last week's or 2 weeks ago storm, I don't think anybody has the number, whether it was 250 or 5 or 1,000-year storm, because that was sort of ridiculous.
I'm conservative, say 200. I
Yeah.
had a lot of people tell me higher. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't
Anything
matter.
over 100, it doesn't matter what.
Um,
It was bad. We were doing good, a lot of fines, and all over. And unfortunately, right now, resources are focused on private property, people displaced, and culverts and bridges. We can get the resources. That we need.
Right, I agree. And so we had 2 Walter roads. You mentioned about the county dam backing up. That would have been the one in between New Galena and Railroad. But the one that washed out again is between New Galena and Township line. That one was impacted by the county dam.
The whole area, I don't have that. We weren't asked to study that.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't think that one was impacted because then they wouldn't have had that flow rate to do that dam. That's stagnant. All right, but we don't have a projected timeline when designs are going to be done and ready to go.
Comment? All right, that's enough. All right, next on the agenda is our action items. Since this is a new procedure, Matt, do you want me to just read them off one at a time, or?
This is another thing that's going to be different with our new mode here. And so the idea is that we now have motion sheets, and typically the chair doesn't make a motion. The chair would just say, okay, action item A, motion to approve meeting minutes, and then any of the other remaining 4. Follow the spirit and say, I make the motion, and then we need a second. Whoever makes that motion, just read it from the motion sheet.
All right, fantastic. All right, so action item A, motion to approve the meeting minutes of August 16th and September 13th, 2021.
I move that the board approve the minutes of the August 16th, 2001 business meeting and the September 13th, 2021 work session meeting of the new Britain Township Board of Supervisors.
The motion,
Second.
we have a first and a second. Are there any amendments, changes? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Next on the agenda, action item B, motion to approve the schedule of bills.
And that is for the bill dated August 30th, 2021, September 7th, 2021, September 17th, 2021, September 20th, 2021, September 2021. Another reimbursement. The total amount of $291,907.62.
We have a first, we have a motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Are there any questions or amendments or changes? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Next item on the action items is motion C, motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make that motion that the board approves all items in the consent agenda dated September 27, 2021, per the attachment.
I have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
All those, I have a first and second, any comments, questions, amendments? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next action item is letter E, motion to adopt resolution 2021-20, the New Britain Township Police Department hiring policy.
Skip number D. Salt bid.
Oh, goodness gracious, I am so sorry. Action item number D. Motion to award the salt bid.
Board award the 2022 salt bid to the lowest qualified bidder, American Salt Incorporated, at $57.88 per ton.
All right, we have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye, motion carried. All right, back to letter E, as it were. Motion to adopt resolution 2021-20 NBT PD hiring policy.
I'll move that the board adopts resolution 2021-20, the police department hiring policy, per the attachment.
I have a motion, is there a second? Any questions, comments, or amendments? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Motion carries. All right, letter F, motion to authorize acceptance of applications for a sworn position in the New Britain Police Department.
I make a motion that we authorize to accept applications for sworn position in the New Britain Police Department per resolution 2021-20.
I'm gonna actually just strike that per resolution 2021.
So for resolution.
Just, it should just be in after New Britain Police.
Okay, so. All right, so
I make that
first of
motion
all,
as amended.
okay, there we go. We have a second as amended.
Second.
All right, we have a first and second as amended. Any other questions, comments? None, motion, please all signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. You got me there, Matt. Next letter on the agenda, motion to adopt G, motion to adopt resolution 2021-21 Dolly Lane preliminary final approval.
I'll make that motion. The board adopts resolution 2021-21, Dolly Lane preliminary final approval, per the attachment.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Helen, we've got Helen. That's fine. We have a first and second. Is there any comments or questions or amendments from the board? Since seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Letter H, motion to adopt resolution 2021-22 9 Sellersville Road preliminary final approval.
I move the board adopt resolution 2021-22 9 Sellersville Road preliminary / final approval for the attachment.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, and the first and second, are there any questions, amendments, or statements? I guess. Since none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next on the agenda is I, motion to adopt resolution 2021-23, Township Line Road and Walters Road preliminary and final approval. We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a first and a second. Any questions, comments? See none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Back up on signing here. Okay, letter J, motion to approve waiver of land development, CMB TJSA Pump House number 4.
I'll make that motion, but I don't have it in front of me.
I know maybe I'll slow down for a second. You want to find that one? It's here.
I don't, all right, what is this?
Waiver of land development.
I move that the board approve the waiver of land development for shop on the Britain Township joint sewer garden pump house number 4 for
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a first and a second. Any amendments or questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Just an aside real quick, Matt, for future meetings, have a little dash note or something for each of the motions so that we can quickly skim to them. Well, it's all stapled together and
Well, not for you, but other part, printed out stacks.
oh, okay. Use that.
Because I thought about that.
Yeah, that's
But
fine.
Oh,
I didn't make you into.
And I just put my staples together, stuff on top of it.
There you go. All right, never mind. Strike that from the conversation.
I get you all iPads, you know, get your iPad.
Yeah, right.
So,
All right, next letter on the agenda, motion to approve the county builder settlement stipulation agreement.
We need to amend this motion.
we need to make a motion.
You need a motion to approve it, then we amend it.
Right, I'll make a motion to approve the county builders stipulation agreement.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, are there any amendments, questions, or comments?
The board like me to outline the amendment that was previously discussed?
Yes.
Yes,
So the amendment would be that any tree removal that is more than 60%, but less than the maximum of 70%, would trigger replacement trees, planting replacement trees as set forth in the zoning ordinance. The trees would be initially planted on site, then along Butler, on other properties fronting Butler that are being improved in conjunction with this settlement, then on township property. The township would be pick the location and the species of the trees, while county builders would be responsible for purchasing and planting.
all right, so we have an amendment to the motion. Is there a motion to accept the amendment?
I move to accept the amendment.
All right, we have an amended motion. We have a second. All those in favor, okay, any other comments or questions from the board? Since none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Aye. Motion carries. Next letter. Yep. Next letter on the agenda is L, motion to appoint township planning and zoning officer.
I make the motion that the board appoint Gilmore and Associates as the township planning and zoning officer.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. All right, don't need to get too ahead of myself here. Here we go. Letter M, motion to appoint John Bates as Township Finance Director and Treasurer as of September 13th, 2021.
Make the motion.
I second.
All right, that's good, that's fine. Is that good enough? Okay, we have first and second. Any comments or questions? Amendments? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye, motion carried. Okay, next is letter N, motion to accept the 2022 minimum municipal obligation for the police pension.
I'll make a motion that the board approves resolution 2021-24, 2022 police pension plan MMO as per the attached.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any comments, questions? What? No, that was a motion to accept it to the agenda for sunshine law. Okay, so we have a first and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Last motion on the agenda is motion O. Motion to accept the 2022 minimum municipal obligation for the non-union pension.
I'll make that motion. Resolution 21-25-22, non-municipal pension plans. And
Second.
Second, any comments or questions, amendments? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye, motion carried. That concludes our action items for this evening. The next item on the agenda is information items. Matt, I will turn that over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't have a significant report this evening, aside from saying that we're continuing to assess the damage left to us by Ida. Our public works crew has been out in force, restoring many of the roads that have been washed out. And we're looking forward to restoring Walters Road as soon as we can. The other thing I'd like to talk about is that I'm excited that the township was informed that it was awarded a grant through the 2021 Healing the Planet grant program to fund a pilot project for passive open space restoration. Remember, we talked about that a couple of weeks ago. And the grant will fund the planting and caging of trees and shrubs in township-owned half-acre passive open space parcel containing a detention basin located at Marshall Circle. Information about this grant was presented to the board at a public meeting earlier this year. And I just wanted to personally thank Township resident Ken Jones for taking the lead on this project. And Township staff and I look forward to working with him to move this project forward to completion. That concludes my report.
Thank you very much, Matt. Are there any questions or comments on that report? All right, seeing none, departmental reports.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Public Works Department and Code Departments have all submitted their reports, and that was included in this evening's board packet. Or were there any questions or comments about either of those two?
I'm not sure if this is, I've had many people ask about what is happening with the old antique wall on Guideline Drive. And I saw that there was a permit at one point for it. I just wondered if you know what else is going on, because it's looking like it's starting to get windows broken and things like that.
I don't have an answer to that. We can follow up with Mindy, our code enforcement. Back to you.
Especially since the talking teacup at next door has just reopened. And,
Yeah, I thought somebody bought it and I thought it was something used for filmmaking or something like that. So,
the talking teacup for the antique. It's a former employee. It's real.
Are there any other comments or questions regarding departmental reports as supplied in the packet?
There's also a police department report in there. The Chief Placer is here with us tonight. And I'm just going to turn it over to Chief Placer if you want to do anything to his report.
Good evening, members of the board.
Thank you.
Thank you for approving the resolutions for the hiring policy. That's one of the things on the report to check off, and we'll start the process this week with advertising for the new hire. The only other item I want to bring to your attention is I did appoint Officer Sean McGuire as a detective in the legal detective. Any questions?
How are the traffic calming programs coming along? I saw a report that you started handing out some citations instead of just warnings. But,
So we were, yeah, we've the past couple of months, we've had a great opportunities to do aggressive driving, enforcement. Those have resulted in, several citations and warnings. We still have some traffic speed signs that we want to deploy. We're in the process of getting solar panels for those to be deployed and left up for a longer period of time. The duration of the battery. So those will be forthcoming. And then we also want to do some studies ourselves as far as where we would deploy our resources and make sure the officers are more present in those areas.
Are you in favor of, local police municipalities having, the use of radar? Does that help?
It's an additional tool that can help feel that, with anything that we're using, to make sure that the public is educated on what we're doing and why we're doing it. So as that becomes available to us, it's also going to be an additional cost to purchase that equipment. And we currently have equipment that we can do speed enforcement. And the officers are very comfortable using that equipment.
Would you be in favor of the board, considering a resolution, requesting our local legislators to, vote for, allowing local municipalities to use radar?
Yes, I would agree.
I don't know how to proceed after that one, so.
I'm wondering if there's gonna be a motion for,
Well,
typical board wishes, this board wish for us to develop a resolution to be considered at the October meeting, is that?
I was going to wait to board of supervisor comments, but if you want to do that now, it's something I think it's an outstanding issue in the legislature at the moment. And I know other municipalities in the area have passed resolutions asking their particular representative and senator to pass it. So I would like to consider doing that also to make sure that they know how the township feels, especially if the police support that.
Good. We'll explore whether, like, what mechanism is the best means to do that, whether it's a resolution or a letter of support. I'll talk to the township solicitor about that, but that's the way, we'll talk to Chief Bowser about the municipalities, what they've done, what would be the most forceful recommendation from them. I can report that back on Monday. We can do that.
Okay. Does anyone have any other questions for Chief Bowser? All right, next on the agenda is the solicitor's report.
Just one thing I want to bring up at the meeting 2 weeks ago, there was a question regarding 113 Valley Lane, going to sheriff's sale. This was listed for sheriff's sale. That sheriff's sale was continued from the end of September to October. The one thing I forgot at the meeting 2 weeks ago is that we actually sent a demand letter to the owner of 113 demanding with all the township costs, which were over $10,000. He obviously did not pay them. After the 30 days had run, under state and federal debt statute, we could then file a lien. So we've actually filed a lien against the property. Knock on wood, that lien will be paid off. With the photo show.
Thank you for the update. Any other questions or comments for the solicitor? Next on the agenda is the engineer's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just wanted to thank the board for appointing us as zoning officer. I'm sure most of you know Janine with the point on that. He's a representative. I will also, I think that they really let that happen with fires. And one quick update, we will be submitting Wednesday your annual stormwater MS4 report. She works with Michael on this annual report we do every year. We updated staff that he wants to speed on that. And part of the capital planning, really helping manage staff for what's going on projects. We can plan for budget and to follow that annual report. So you're good to go. Not a lot of activity this year, but it's COVID, the report looks like a lot of the townships are, there's not a lot of activity. So, that's all I have.
Very much. Any comments, questions for the engineer? All right, next on the agenda, the board of supervisors comments.
I don't know how many know, but Jack told me he was a long time member of this board and he passed away last.
I did not.
Yeah, he did. So I have not heard about him.
So we got an email,
I sent an email out this
3
afternoon
or 4.
Oh, okay, I was busy.
with a third obituary.
Okay.
It's got, people review.
Okay.
That does seem to be on Thursday morning.
Yeah.
Private.
And viewing it and service at 12, determine about that.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't know that. I was really busy with something else. I didn't get to that.
As a gentleman who served the board for
And he was on planning
over 20
commission
years,
forever,
planning
and
commission, he was a police officer.
he was a police officer, he was on zoning hearing.
Yeah.
So he was a very, very important person in the township and public service.
So I don't know if we want to like to post something on the website acknowledging his passing, that might be appropriate, but considering his long duration of service to the township. Then I would assume, I mean, I'll be going to the viewing, I'm assuming we're going to send representation. Yes. Very good. So, is there anything else we can, or?
No, I just don't believe that.
I didn't know if it was trying to speak.
Yes.
I'm probably up there like the judge. Started, or so did I back then. Some of you know, Jack used to make a lot of visits to my office, where the Harold Year doing more than 50 years. Started in 97, and most of you know, he did a lot for the township behind the scenes. He challenged a lot of us. He was always, he was quiet for most of the meetings, and then, he was saying something at the end, like, okay, we would think about that, because he knew, and he'd sit back and, do your stuff, and that's, work their way through the process, but planning commission, and really, behind the scenes, a lot of staff. Really, I got the text out we made, and, he did shoot it.
Okay, well, are there any other supervisors' comments?
Just like to comment to the public works and people from the staff on the phenomenal work, the Veterans Committee event that we had. Very well. Well received. We didn't have as many people as we did a couple of years ago, but again, I think it was a fall off one because, we hadn't had it last year and still with COVID, I think that held some people back. Hopefully it will again next year, but then staff.
I have one other item I wanted to bring to the board's attention. Since we've been waiting patiently for guidance, regulations, code from the federal government on the use of our COVID funds, they have a special ARPA with the only stated use is that they're to be used to help nonprofits deal with the effects and costs of COVID. I have reached out to several of the nonprofits that I deal with on a regular basis in the township. Started a discussion concerning what costs they incur. And these are small nonprofits, not the North Penn Water Association, such as Park Wildlife Rehabilitation Hospital on the road, Blue Britain Baptist Sweetwater, who have stayed with the community and always been a quite a benefit to the community, and certainly stayed with it through COVID and the extraordinary need that was shown, being very small. I was hopeful that we could have them come present to us what they do and to share some of the ARPA monies that we're getting with some of our true to the wall nonprofits in the community. Anybody has any other suggestions? I know that we've sustained quite a few losses as a result of COVID, but I do think there would be a little, it will be enough that we could show our appreciation to these organizations that benefit our community in various ways.
I would encourage that, someone definitely do that. I'm not sure what would be our best way to go about it. For the clarification, make sure that we're not doing another. You know, if we gave all the money to our water and sewer, that would be no problem. We're allowed to do that right away. But I think, you know, in this particular statement, some of these small nonprofits definitely had hard times with COVID, and yet they still tried to carry on. Township and
I agree with both. I think that there's a way in which we can figure out probably some kind of not to get wonky, but a minor formula to apply to any of the nonprofits that serve the township, that provide services to the township, you know, to determine, you know, their portion that we could provide them, you know, that the blue water or something that, you know, my family is supported for since they basically opened. So I know that they had a very difficult year last year, so you know, specifically to help them would be great, but they are a fantastic benefit to our residents. I know they service the community as a whole, but there are a lot of township residents that take advantage of the blue water and need their support.
I would just like to say, don't throw the sewer on them, only because they have some equipment that has been breaking down and taking like pretty hard with all the innovation that's going on.
Yeah.
So, you know, don't, like I said, check with them a little bit too.
Yeah.
Because we don't need huge fines because they're putting too much sewage into the river.
I don't want my sewer rate to go up either, I'm gonna be honest.
We're all, you know, waiting for this, but I think ARPA pretty much came out before the storms with, it has to be somehow related to COVID.
Okay.
Well,
We don't really know.
Yeah, we know, yeah. That
The
changes tomorrow.
water, the sewer, the stormwater actually do not. Everything else does. And even when if we want to give money to nonprofits, they, just like us, we can only give them money that matches the COVID impact requirements of our. So we can't do a formula where we just, okay, we're gonna give you, you know, X amount of dollars. They will actually have to come to us and show us, okay, this is how we've been impacted by COVID. Here are the things we need to address those impacts, and then we can give them money based on that sort of presentation.
Well, they have to show that they lost on average $10,000 a month because of the COVID. They have to be able to send documents.
Yeah, it's more than just, we set up a grant program to help. There's more, just like we have to prove some stuff before we can use the money for our own purposes. If we give it to someone else, they actually have to make the same.
So, in other words, fingers crossed, everyone had to really keep the documentation over the years. Yeah. Lovely.
Oh, yeah. Or thinking across that the program is too big for the federal government to really follow.
A lot of people, there are a lot of people are listening.
Okey dokey. Are there any other board of supervisor comments? All right, since none, next on the agenda is old business.
Old business.
Next on the agenda is new business. So the next on the agenda before adjournment is just to announce that our next meeting will take place on Monday, October 4th at 2021 at 9 a.m. here in the Township building. All agenda and meeting materials will be posted to the website prior to the meeting. That note, I will take a motion to adjourn.
And if I could add,
Oh, sorry.
if we do record those meetings also, they are available on the website the next day. For those who cannot be here and attend the 9 a.m. meeting, we are recording it, we're recording this live, and the next day, it takes about a day for us to post it to YouTube. Check out the Britain Township YouTube channel.
And then if you have any comments or questions, we will obviously not have another meeting for typically 2 weeks. For anyone to have any comments or questions, filtered into the township and then passed on to the board before we make our decisions at the following meeting. So, very good. All right.
How do we adjourn? We don't have something to do.
Touche. On that note, motion to
I
adjourn.
make a motion, we adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
And technically, you don't need a motion to